United Kingdom. Everyone, second rookie victory in a row for Freddie Slater!
I think, yeah, it's an interesting new car.
New car was quite different compared to last year.
Well, I really like the car. The car is pretty much quicker than before. So yeah, it's dream car for me.
It has a bit more downforce, which makes it better to drive. Also, the braking is improved a lot, so for the moment it's really nice to drive.
So Tassus and everyone involved in it have done a good job. It handles a bit differently, it drives a bit differently, and yeah, overall I'd say I prefer the feeling.
The car is new, so there's lots of things to learn, but honestly I think
We've been trying loads of things with the team, done loads of different tests, different setups, all these kind of things, chipping away, to be honest.
Yeah, really exciting. It's a nice step and it's definitely got differences which I think will definitely help me moving forward, so I'm quite happy with how it feels.
Yeah, great to be back here, returning from F4, so good to step up this year. New car as well, so it evens the playing field out for everyone. It's been great.
I think it's a really interesting car. Definitely it's faster than the previous one. I think all of us have a lot to learn.
My first mission was really impressive.
The Formula Regional Middle East Trophy has touched down here at Yas Marina. It's a new challenge and a new era. So, let's find out who's in the mix. It's the dawn of a new era for Formula Regional as the Middle East Trophy 2026 is about to get underway here at Yas Marina in the United Arab Emirates. We're at the scene of where Formula One ended in 2025 and where a new generation of racing car kicks off in 2026. The Tartus F326 has been long awaited, and with 32 drivers covered by just over a second in qualifying, it's sure to be a fantastic first race for this brand new car. Alex Abkasava starts from pole position, but whether he'll win or not is a very different question. The wait is finally over as dusk is descending over Abu Dhabi. The Yas Marina circuit is about to greet the first global race of the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy, the debut of the Tartus F326. This brand new racing car with so much incredible technology, simulation, hard work, and amazing performance behind it is going to greet us into this new generation, this new era. And that man, Alexander Abgasava, gets the honor of being the first F326 era Formula Regional driver to start a race from pole position. Hello everybody, Jake Sanson here in the commentary box as ever here in the Middle East. And this is the man who lost out for pole position by just 1,000th of a second. That's right, 1,000th of a second between the top two men in the first qualifying session of the 2026 season. I can't quite believe it myself when you figure that the entirety of the grid has just a second between them. And this man, a new Mercedes Junior and the home favourite here in the UAE, opportunity is knocking for Rashid Al Daheri of Race GP, and he knows it. Third position on the starting grid, Maximilian Popov for Trident, the Italian with a big opportunity to work his way into the mix. He's been fast all week long, and there could be even more than just a fairly decent race result for him tonight. He's got big opportunities, big ambition, and certainly the Trident Motorsport team has already given us 3 consecutive Formula 3 drivers' titles. Could we get a Formula Regional title to add into the mix? How about the man who's had an awful lot of bad luck every time he's raced in the Middle East, including in testing earlier this week? He had a lot of problems, but his speed as a rookie cannot be denied. The British, Japanese, Slovak, Kian Nakamura Berta, Williams' young driver. And after watching his stablemate in the Williams Junior program, Alexander Bondarev, go for glory in UAE 4 just a few moments ago, perhaps he can emulate his stablemate both at Mumbai Falcons and at Williams in the Junior Academy to glory. For Japan, next up, it's the Honda graduate Taito Kato. He'll be in Formula 3 later this year, but his training begins here in the Middle East in the brand new Tartus F326. He is the most boisterous and flamboyant driver in Formula Regional Middle East this year, and he's got the personality to match his speed. Alex Powell, car number 41 for Pinnacle. Then Christian Ho in the MP Motorsport. He'll also be in Formula 3 this year. Then Alex Ninovic, Kabir Anurag, and Yuki Sano in the top 10. There are so many unknowns going into this race. Everybody is only aware of one thing. You can expect the unexpected. With 32 cars in the field, and in testing earlier this morning, all of them were covered by 1.2 seconds. That's now to now. Absolutely incredible. With 1,000th of a second between the top 2 drivers in qualifying earlier today, and less than a second covering the top 28 drivers in the earlier qualifying session, it really is going to be a sensational challenge for all of those who want to get the victory today. But there are so many battles ahead of us. And of course, everyone at the Chorus Group, at Tartus, at Autotechnica Motor, and everyone at Pirelli as well will be keeping a close eye on this, the new generation of Formula Regional car. The first ever 3-cylinder Formula Regional car is going to have a very interesting debut here at Yas Marina. And everyone that has made this happen will be very excited indeed. I've been speaking to so many people up and down the grid. Even Formula 1 personnel are here to keep an eye on the next generation of talent. And everyone knows that this is the beginning of something quite special. People have said in the press, this is essentially now looking like a baby Formula 1 car. And they're not wrong. The design of these cars is a lot more aggressive, a lot more exciting, and visually, the cars look absolutely stunning. Somewhere between an old Formula Nippon and Indy Lights car. This really does have the style and the grandeur, but does it have the race pace? Does it have the race craft? That's the thing that everybody's been hoping for. It's not automatically a guarantee. You certainly can't judge it on one race, but based on testing, the whole field of 32 drivers covered by a whisker over a second tells you everything you need to know about the grade of the talent on the grid and how even Formula Regional has become with the new F326 from Tartus. So with everybody in equal machinery, ready for the battle royale that awaits us, we wait for the green light at the top of the starting gantry. When it goes, we'll go for the first formation lap of 2026. Off we go. And it looks as though it's a bit of a sluggish start for Kia Nakamura Berta, but the important thing is it is a start. Several drivers are going to be a little bit nervous getting off the grid, but as long as we actually get away, then we're all right. There are a couple of drivers struggling to move from cold. As long as everybody can get going eventually, we'll be all right. There is movement. It's the first race day ever for the Tartas F326, so allow the context and allow these cars to get up to speed. They've barely done 5,000 kilometers of mileage. They haven't even reached 1,000 kilometers yet, I don't believe. The drivers first got their hands on these cars on Tuesday, the same day that the teams did, and they've been learning as much as they can over the last 5 days. There's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to prove. But these race cars really are sensational. 290 brake horsepower, heavier than the previous car, but with a lot more downforce, which makes the grip in the slower bends very different. And so now, as the sun sets, let's talk you through the grid. Alexander Abkasava and Rashid Al-Daheri. Max Popov and Kia Nakamura Berta on the second row. Third row of the grid is Taito Kato of Japan and Alex Powell of the United States. Then Christian Ho is alongside Alex Ninovich, Singapore versus Australia. Then we have Kebe Anurag alongside Yuki Sano. Miguel Costa lines up beside the German talent Maxim Rem. Then Francisco Macedo of Portugal alongside Reza Suwerden of Great Britain. Serbia's Andrija Kostic lines up alongside Felix Fu of China. Dion Gauda, his teammate, 17th on the grid alongside the Italian Giovanni Mascio. Artem Severukin is alongside Jan Pirovsky to round out the top 20. Newman Chi is alongside Andrea Dupé. And then we have the British driver Kai Dadianani alongside, for the United Arab Emirates, Mikhail Belov. Salim Hanna of Colombia lines up 25th alongside Switzerland's Enea Frey. Then it is Gerard G beside the Monegasque Matteo Giacardi. August Raber of the UAE lines up alongside Brazil's Alsu Feldman Nito. And at the back of the grid, neither driver setting times in qualifying, Sebastian Weldon and Jules Roussel. So a lot of drivers have a lot to prove here, but of course the first big test is how will the Tartas F326 racing car fare in its first global outing. And what a venue. Yas Marina circuit, under the lights of the W Hotel, and the circuit lights around. This is going to be quite the spectacle. Another 28 minutes plus 1 lap go on the timer, and we will finish this race under the lights. So all of the contenders lining up in position. Alex Abkasava pole by just 1,000th of a second to Rashid Al-Daheri, who got pole position for race 3 in front of his home fans. There's a lot of Emirati motorsport spectators up on the far point of the stand above us here who want to see their boy Wonder take the Yas Heat colours to victory in the first ever Formula Regional race for the F326. And as the last couple of cars, Sebastian Weldon and Jules Roussel, get onto the back row of the grid. The green flag flies at the back now, and when the lights come on and then go out, we will be racing for the first Formula Regional race of the new era. Let's race in Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. A couple of cars not getting away off the start. Everybody else has got to pick their way through. And Abkasava manages to wrestle his way in front of Al-Daheri as there is a battle for third place. Kia Nakamura Berta goes wheel to wheel up on the inside of the Trident of Popov. Can he get there on the inside line? Popov keeps it round the outside and Nakamura Berta holds on to it on his left side as a couple of drivers kick out wide. And Abkasava struggling to keep Al-Daheri at bay as Ninovich goes wheel to wheel with Alex Powell. They go into the W Hotel section, and Al-Daheri is all over the back of the race leader, Alex Abkasava. So a couple of drivers were slow away, but there's been no major incidents, and every car has now left the grid. So we go on to the Formula One straight for the first time tonight, and it's Abkasava in front of Al-Daheri. Popov has maintained third place in front of Nakamura Berta. Taito Kato is still P5 in front of Powell, Ninovich and Christian Ho. And there's still battles all the way down the Formula One straight as drivers are trying to second guess the braking zone into the left-hander. Drivers running deep, both cars there going wide and off the circuit as they duel up the crest. But so far Abkasava has the advantage, but does he have the staying power? Rashid Al-Daheri is going aggressive early. And the Race GP driver trying to defend. He's been a little bit more conservative on the line compared to Abkasava. And if Aldaheri's got the toe, we may see the first big battle for victory on the first lap in Formula Regional. Down the straight here at Yas Marina, and you can see that Aldaheri is hungry. Abkasava's having to defend already as Rashid Aldaheri and Alex Abkasava go wheel to wheel into the chicane at the end of the first lap of racing in the F326. Aldaheri can't make it stick, but he set it up beautifully for a charge out of the final turn and into lap 2. Side by side, Aldaheri trying to draw level. Abkasava's guarding the inside line big time, but can Aldaheri switch tack and go for the inside line? Abkasava defends, but he could drift wide on the camber, but he's held onto it nicely. Popov has similar confrontations coming from Kian Nakamura Berta. Kato is in front of Alex Powell, then Ninovic, Ho, Rem, Costa, Sawerthan, and then it's Kostic, Macedo, Gauda, Savrukin, Perovsky, Hanna, Dupé, and Chi. We had quite a few drivers dropping back through the field earlier on. That was Kabir Anurag, Matteo Giaccani, Yukasano, Felix Fu, all dropping down the order after slow starts. So very unfortunate for Kabir Anurag, the Singaporean for Alpine. And for ART Grand Prix, he has dropped a long way down the Alpine Junior. And that will really compromise the rest of his race. Still, great battles forming as Rashid Aldaheri tries to close back up on Alex Abkasava. Onto the far side of the course, still some good battles emerging here. We apologise if there are problems with your picture. We are on top of it and trying to fix as soon as possible. But Abkasava leads the way from Rashid Aldaheri, Popov, Nakamura Berta and Taito Kato in the top 5 at the moment. Alex Powell starting to knock on the door of Taito Kato. As down the backstretch we go. Aldaheri not quite close enough to Abkasava this time to challenge for the position, but one man who might get a run is Taito Kato, close up behind Kian Nakamura Berta. If he can slingshot past the Brit, he'll move up to P4. He's not made that move just yet. We come off the chicane and down the home stretch of the support paddock, which is our start-finish line. 24 minutes to go, and Abkasava has the line on Aldaheri. Then Popov, Nakamura Berta, Kato, Powell, Ninovic, Ho, Rem and Costa. Braking zone, turn 1, they're hairpin as they run through. Big slide in the middle of the apex from Popov. Nakamura Berta still hungry to go with him. The dirty air is everything in this new car. It's what everybody's been hoping they can handle, and certainly it looks a little bit racier, this car. There's Reza Sawerthan trying his luck to close up on Miguel Costa. That's the battle for P10. And both men are trying to get on terms with the the German, Maxim Rem. Alex Ninovic, their teammate, is a couple of cars further up the road. So all 3 of the road-ins are pretty much on the same bit of the racetrack together. They're probably the most evenly spaced driver lineup of all of the competitors. And there's a big incident earlier on for one of the RPMs. Goodness me. That's what we saw earlier on in the lap then. Very nasty moment indeed. I couldn't quite make out who that was. I think that might have been Giovanni Mascio, although I'm not entirely sure on that one. But certainly Giovanni Mascio lost a couple of seconds compared to everybody else in the first sector, so that would seem to tally. Miguel Costa went through cleanly on that first run, and Jan Pirovsky was already ahead of him, so I think it was Giovanni Mascio who ran out wide and lost about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. So we're looking to see how things are. Car 51 has already incurred a second warning for track limits. That's Kian Nakamura Berta. We haven't even gone through 10 minutes yet. So out of the braking zone for the chicane as Alex Abkasava holds on in front of Rashid Aldaheri. Then Popov, Nakamura Berta, Kato, Powell, Ninovic, Ho, Rem and Costa. It looks as though Kian Nakamura Berta's on the warpath here on Max Popov. Can he find his way through on the inside? He's got to be calculated. You've got to make sure that you don't just go for one slam dunk maneuver. You've still got to have tyres left at the end of it. 22 minutes to go. And these are still learning times for this car, don't forget. We don't know everything yet about what this car can do. We're still in the process of learning, and this is the first ever race for the Tartas F326 in a field so large with some of the best young talent across the globe. So there is Abkasava, Aldaheri, Popov and Nakamura Berta. You can see how close everybody is running, so that bodes well. We don't have one driver charging away from the rest of the field. Abkasava not quite able to drop Aldaheri. who's not quite able to drop Popov, who's not quite able to drop Nakamura Berta, and so on. Everybody at CL Motorsport watching on. Their highest ranked driver at the moment appears to be Yuan Chi, who's currently running in 18th place, but they've got Michael Beloff and more talent in the mix as well from other competitors in the field. Into the braking zone again. Alex Abkasava for MP Motorsport, still going strong up at the sharp end of the field. A Euro Cup 3 winner, of course, won that phenomenal race at Portimao a couple of years ago, when it really was all decided on the last lap, and Abkasava was the one who was willing to roll his sleeves up and go for it. So this is not a big shock to see him out in front. He's got great talent and good ability, and he's learning quickly. Al-Daheri getting close to him on the braking zone now, though. So this is where Rashid Al-Daheri can really step up the attack, as Alex Powell is having to defend now from Alex Ninovic. The Australian's going for a charging run. Powell's going to have to be on the inside line and hold that position. Ninovic is going to try and hold himself to the outside, but he eventually decides, you know what, Powell, I'm going to let you have the line for the moment because I can get back on the inside and switch it up. But Powell was ready for that move too. Christian Ho in the second of the MPs is just in behind. Rather sadly, both Christian Ho and Taito Kato are not going to finish this season because they've obviously got to prepare for their upcoming FIA Formula 3 campaigns in February. So they're using every race that they can in the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy as good experience. And they've come here because, of course, the F326 is now quite a good benchmark compared to the Formula 3 car. Not a lot of differences between the two now. And it's a nice segue between the F4 and the F3 car. That's what the Formula Regional was designed to be. And everyone's really excited about how the racing is going to play out in this first season. Yas Marina being a Formula 1 circuit, it certainly invites good excitement for this first battle of the season. On the far side of the crest and dropping down to the hairpin. Abkasava trying to get clear of Al-Daheri, who has the fastest lap of the race and now has the toe. Can he use this back straight to get closer to Abkasava? I guess he's probably going to have a try into turn one, but if he can beat Abkasava to the braking zone, he may just get a chance of the lead, and he knows it. He's dialing him up. Will he be close enough to attack? He's having a look, but he knows that Abkasava will pull right across the line. He needs to be closer if he really wants to commit that move. And even off the chicane, he's not close enough to really attack, so he's got to take his time. You don't want to burn the tyres out, racing wheel to wheel and trying a move that isn't going to happen. He can get closer to him, but he needs to wait for the door to open up organically. So there is Reza Sawerthan trying to stay clear of the likes of Kostic, Gauda and Savrukin. There is Alex Ninovic, who's got Christian Ho in tow. Maxim Rem is just behind him with Costa. And then Sawerthan, Kostic, Gauda, Savrukin, Birovsky and Salim Hanna, the Colombian. But it looks as though we've got a retirement, unfortunately, and that is Alci Feldman-Nito, who is crawling down pit lane. So very unfortunate indeed for Alci Feldman-Nito in the Lightning McQueen colours on his racing helmet. He actually races in Lightning McQueen's livery in the Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil, while his father races the Tag Heuer car. So he gets to race his single-seater dream and also have some fun with his dad in Porsches in his native Brazil. And certainly here, there's not a lot to smile about for the Brazilian. We're going to see a replay. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's what happens! Poor Alci Feldman-Nito, the back end just washes out from him. He careers into the barrier. That's a very messy way for his race to come to a conclusion. You've got to feel for Alci Feldman-Nito. As once again, Rashid Al-Daheri closes up on Abkasava. The Kazakhstani going out in the lead and running his race. Rashid Al-Daheri staying with him. Second place is a valuable position for Rashid Al-Daheri to be in here. He doesn't want to throw this away. If he can go for the win, brilliant. But chucking away a P2 is not smart. Consistency can also win you championships. Winning is one thing. Collecting points is just as valuable a tactic. Popov, Nakamura Berta, Kato, Powell, Ninovic, Ho, then Remen, Costa, Sawerthan, Kostic, Gauda, Savrukin, Binovsky, Hanna, Macedo, Chi, Beloff and Dupé. Then Dadianani in front of Sebastian Weldon, so he's come up to 22nd. That's 10 places made up for the American. Giovanni Mascio up to 23rd from Gerard G. Kebe Anurag is 25th ahead of Jules Roussel. Then Yuki Sano, Enea Frey, August Raybert, Matteo Giaccardi, and Felix Fu. Alcifel Manito has gone back out on circuit after his visit to the pits. So all 32 cars are still running. But the big question is, does Rashid Al Daheri want to take the gamble on Alex Abkasava if he gets the chance? The temptation to win on home soil will be vast, but he's got to think long game here, and it's those kind of tactics that will put him in good stead with Mercedes. You don't just want to go in ugly and hope that it sticks. You want to be calculated. There's the Van Amersfoort Racing team getting themselves geared up for their next decision. That's the team, of course, that has given us almost a quarter of the current Formula One grid over the years. Al Daheri chasing after Abkasava. A little bit of daylight between them. Taito Kato still a bit closer to Nakamura Berta than the British driver would like. He's chasing down the Italian Max Popov in the Trident. Braking zone. Balanced, balanced, balanced on the brakes. That's really nice from all three drivers there as they pick their moment perfectly and get exactly what they need from the car. But it's a stalemate when you've got the whole grid covered by 1.2 seconds. This really comes down to nerves of steel. Abkasava, Rashid Al Daheri, then Popov, Nakamura Berta, Kato, Powell, Ninovic and Ho. Round turn one, and Powell trying to push the new livery of the Pinnacle Motorsport team slightly further forward. This is his first race with the team. And the Pinnacle Motorsport team, based out of Manila in the Philippines, are celebrating their 10th anniversary in racing. Great to see them continuing to give the young talents of the future a great shot in the world of motorsport. They were battling for various championships last year, including the F4 Southeast Asian title, F4 here in the Middle East, and of course Formula Regional. They've had plenty of great star talents in their lineup over the years, and Alex Powell is just the latest addition to their roster. Managing to stay in front of the GB3 champion from last season, Alex Ninovic. You can see the sizzling blue lights of the W Hotel as the drivers drop their way down to the hairpin. This is the karting circuit when it's used for IAME X30 events locally here in the Middle East. And then they come off the hairpin, back down the long, long straight. Looking through the pack, we can see that Powell is now stretching away a little from Ninovic. But still, Popov is trying to fend away from Nakamura Berta and Kato. Still a very close proximity run as Abkasava is just trying to soak up the pressure here from Rashid Al Daheri. Track limits first warning for the number 28. That is Newman Shi of the CL Motorsport squad. But now we can see that Nakamura Berta's really putting Popov under pressure. Kato's made a mistake here, and that's Alex Powell's opportunity, and he knows it. Alex Powell pushing, 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 trying to find his gap on the Japanese. But he can't find it, and now Ninovic could have an opportunity round the far side. Powell's got to close that door. He does, but Ninovic is still on him. Big twitch from Powell. Break for the W Hotel. And the crisis is averted for now. Under the hotel, left. Check the radius, left again. Charging up towards the final two right-hand apexes that bring you onto the Formula One straight. The midpoint of the lap in Formula Regional, the finish line in Formula One. And still, Abkasava just a whisker in front of Rashid Al Daheri. This is a match between the two of them. It's almost like a tennis match up front between Abkasava and Al Daheri as to who breaks concentration first. Who gets that lockup? Who makes the mistake? Who breaks the will of the other? So Abkasava and Al Daheri, there they are. There's nothing between them in terms of lap time. Al Daheri was actually quicker than Abkasava on the last lap. But in terms of their best lap time, Abkasava is a few thousandths of a second faster. But look how much closer Al Daheri is now to Abkasava compared to what he was on the last couple of laps. This is all about gamesmanship. You don't just want to chuck it up the inside, you want to put Abgasava under as much pressure as possible. What Rashid Al Daheri wants is for the race leader to spend almost as much time looking in his mirrors as he does looking ahead. He wants him to sweat. Third is Popov. Fourth is Nakamura-Berta. Then Kato, Powell, Ninovic, Ho, Rem, Costa and Suwerven. Bit of a gap. Kostic versus Gauda. This is Andrea Kostic, the Serbian, versus the Indian Dion Gauda. And the Van Amersfoort racing driver trying to get his line on the inside. For the manoeuvre. It's so easy to hold the momentum. What a start to proceedings this new F326 is giving us. Good midfield battles here. As we now look for Salim Hanna making his bid on the Polish ace Jan Pedowski. The battle continuing for Artem Sevrukin of the G4 Racing team. He's done a good job in this one to knock on the door of the top 10. He's made good use of the opportunity. As for some of the others in the mix, it's been a frustrating one. Kabir Anurag is trying to close up on Gerard Shee to make an overtake. Sebastian Weldon seems to have found himself in a bit of a stumbling block here in 22nd behind Andrea Dupé. You've got to remember that these guys are separated in the timing sheets by 1.2. You can't afford to start from the back of the grid because the competition is so even, is so level, that you can't just charge from the back of the grid to the front like you could in other categories. Everybody's so even and so closely matched that the lap times are very comparable indeed. It's not much of an advantage from one driver to another. So it comes down to intelligence. It comes down to streetwise driving. Don't push the car too hard. Don't cook the brakes. Don't overstretch the tyres. Follow in the wheel tracks of the man in front. Make him do all the hard work. Through the hairpin. Abgasava and Al Daheri. Well clear now of Popov and Nakamura-Berta, who's trying to stay with him. He's actually struggling. Kato in P5. Powell, Ninovic, Ho, Rem and Costa. I say that Kia Nakamura-Berta is struggling in fourth position, but he's actually having better luck in the first race of the season than he's had in previous categories out here. He's been one of the fastest drivers in every car he's ever stepped into, but he's had a lot of bad luck. It was only really last year in the Italian F4 and Euro 4 championships when he finally got a season that he deserved to have, winning both championships, now stepping up to Formula Regional, and in the very first race for this new car, he's in the top 5. Up the crest, down the drop. And this is where we're going to see if Rashid Al Daheri has the staying power down this crest. Up to the hairpin. Control the car, don't overcook the brakes, keep it smooth, keep it tidy. He has a slightly different line out of the hairpin. Abgasava can't afford to stray away from his tactics. Don't let Rashid Al Daheri get into your head. He's a very tough opponent. Back straight. Popov, Nakamura-Berta still close together. 28 gets a third warning for track limits. So, no more naughty boy for Newman Shee. Al Daheri, little twitch of curb. That kicks him onto the outside curb on the exit of the final turn. But he's still within the toe. He can gain that back again. Nakamura-Berta still trying to hold on to Max Popov. 51, black and white warning flag for track limits. Kia Nakamura-Berta really is running the gauntlet here. Kia Nakamura-Berta cannot afford to run these track limits further than he is, because he is on the cusp of a penalty. So many times now he's got a warning flag for it. And so too has the number 4, that is Reza Suwerven. So Reza Suwerven also has the black and white warning flag for track limits. They've got to be careful. But Kia Nakamura-Berta is the man of the two of them currently in the top 5. So that could be a devastating start to the season for him to pick up a track limits penalty at this stage. Watching the battles further back, and we can see that it's still close all the way to the tail end of the field. That's Roussel, Frey, Raber and Giaccardi. From the front of the field to the back, there's still very good racecraft. And still they battle on. Down to the Formula 1 stretch, down the crest they go again to the hairpin. We can see that it's still very evenly matched. up at the front end of the field. But Aldaheri, see, he's not as close now to Abkasava as he was. Abkasava sets the fastest second sector of anybody. He's still got life in these tyres. Everything Rashid Aldaheri throws at Abkasava, he's got the response. This is really smart driving from the MP driver. Keeping it nice and tidy all the way. He's not letting Rashid Aldaheri outfox him. You just sit there. You just do your thing. I'll do my thing. You can't crush me. 6 minutes to go. Black and white warning flag now for the 71. That's Rashid Aldaheri. Oh, this race could end up being decided in the steward's room. They've got to be careful. But the crosswinds really are stronger than predicted. And the back ends of these cars are washing the drivers out a bit on some of these right-handers, some of these left-handers as well. Gotta be careful. Do not put yourself in a vulnerable position. Fastest second sector of the entire race for Alex Powell and Christian Ho to the 1,000th of a second. And now it's been beaten by 1,000th of a second by Sebastian Weldon. If you look at the numbers, this car is doing such a good job. Maybe it's not wheel-to-wheel crazy banterix, but you've got to remember, it's the first race for the new car. Got to look at the overall pace, and we've still got 28 drivers within half a minute. Abkasava and Aldaheri. This is a chess match. It really is very much about who takes whose pawn, who takes whose knight, who takes whose bishop. Got to be so careful. Look after the tyres, look after the apexes. Don't overstretch the car. Alex Abkasava is driving such a calm and mature race. This is what makes you into a champion. You've got all the pressure of the man right behind you for the whole race, and you're not going to buckle. Popov and Nakamura Berta, similar style of battle between the two of them, as Christian Ho now picks up a second warning for track limits. Nakamura Berta really in the toe of Popov, but Aldaheri is really in the toe of Abkasava, and he has been for the whole race. Nakamura Berta, fastest lap of the race now, 1:48.79, quicker than everybody around him. And another black and white warning flag, or is it the same one for Nakamura Berta and Rashid Aldaheri? I think it might be the same one, but Aldaheri really is now going for broke here, attacking Abkasava. Can he coax the Kazakhstani into making a mistake? MP versus Race GP. Kazakhstan versus the United Arab Emirates. Alexander Abkasava versus Rashid Aldaheri. Two great talents. There's the 27. That is Matteo Giacardi for ART Grand Prix, hoping to move his way further forward. Not finding it particularly easy. He runs in front of Felix Fu, the Chinese driver, as the two of them try and go after Enea Frey and August Raber. From the back of the field to the front, there are battles all the way. Aldaheri still pushing Alex Abkasava as hard as he can. Who's going to get this? The leader or the pursuer? Nakamura Berta's dropped back a little bit from Popov, so we're running short on time. It's been green all the way. So now the drivers have got to focus. This is when the tyres are going to start to lose their grip. This is when a smart driver will win the race, not necessarily a fast one. Aldaheri locking up a little bit in the chicane. You can't afford to do that too many times, or you will have 50 pence pieces where tyres should be. Down the home stretch. A very solid race continues. Still going strong. But the battle is raging. Aldaheri still fancies his chances here. Abkasava holding his nerve. 2 minutes on the clock. This is going to be very tight indeed. Abkasava continues his march ahead of Rashid Aldaheri through the S's. Aldaheri closer than ever. If he can stay with him in the dirty air through these apexes, then he'll get a shot down the back straight. Who's got the best tyres? Who's got the best discipline? Who's got the best nerve? Nakamura Berta still trying to stay with Popov in the Trident. And This is not just for third position, this is also for the rookie trophy between these two. Abkasava and Rashid Al-Daheri are not rookies in this category. Popov and Nakamura Berta are. So they are chasing after the rookie trophy in third position overall. Abkasava's done well in the middle sector here to get away from Al-Daheri to the hairpin. 1 minute on the clock. Can Al-Daheri find his move here on Abkasava? When you've got two smooth operators, it's all going to come down to who's going to keep an eye on these Pirellis better. Back straight, braking zone for chicane. At the end of this lap, there will be only 2 remaining. Car 8 has a warning for track limits. So that is Jan Perovski. Rashid Al-Daheri still tight up behind Abkasava. 2 laps to go. Wash out on the curbs from Al-Daheri, but he gathers it up. He's still in the tow, and that will put him back on the rear wing by the braking zone. But I don't think he'll be close enough to go for the move. Popov, 3rd place. Nakamura Berta 4th. Then Taito Kato, Powell, Ninovich, Ho. Dion Gauda's in trouble. Dion Gauda's in trouble at turn 6 by the look of it. So Dion Gauda's had a problem down at the chicane, and he's dropped all the way back to 22nd. And he's not the only one in trouble. It looks like Yuki Sano got involved as well. So the time ticks down to 0, but Dion Gauda has lost a lot of places. So we're not entirely sure what happened, but we know for a fact that Dion Gauda's had some problems that have dropped him a long way down the order. He lost 11 seconds at the chicane. So Dion Gauda is all the way back to 22nd. No victory for the Van Amersfoort driver today. So still, we quest after the win. Abkasava of Kazakhstan versus Rashid Al-Daheri of the United Arab Emirates. His home is just a few minutes away from the circuit. He's grown up dreaming of this opportunity, and here it is, right in his hands. But he doesn't want to rush this. 2nd place now will do if a win comes tomorrow night. Big slide from Al-Daheri. The tyres are starting to scream at them. Track limits, first warning only for the number 5 of Miguel Costa, who's in the top 10. Good smooth drive from the Brazilian then. And a black and white warning flag for a track limits infringement for the number 28. That's Chijen Roy. Chicane for the penultimate time. Here we go then. Out of the right-hander, and Alex Abkasava and Rashid Al-Daheri continue their duel going into the last lap of the opening race of the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy 2026. Abkasava has got to soak all of this pressure up. It may not be a battle wheel to wheel, but it is a proper psychological gamesmanship fight between these two. They've both had their good moments. They've both had their weak moments. But it's now about holding on. Alex Abkasava, 19 years of age. Can he prove that he's got what it takes to hold on for the first ever F326 Formula Regional race? Out through the final 2 right-handers of the Formula 1 configuration and on to the Formula 1 straight. Al-Daheri is close. He knows he's only going to get 1 shot, and that's going to be on the back straight. So he's got to stay with Abkasava. Through to the left-hander. Turn in. Dial the apex. Smooth on the curbs. Good boys. Left. Hug the apex. Up over the crest. Right, hug the apex again. Don't let the back end travel. Drop down the crest, up towards the hairpin. Don't lock up the brakes now. You won't get any grip on the exit. Oh, Rashid Al-Daheri cooking it a little bit there, and that could really spoil his chances. So for Alex Abkasava, this could be an absolute dance down the back straight. Rashid Al-Daheri is so close, and yet so far. Down to the braking zone. And he's not going to be close enough. He's going to have to settle for 2nd place. So it'll be the MP Motorsport team that takes victory in the first ever Tartas F326 era race in Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. It's a win in the opening race of the season for Alex Abkasava. Great run from Abkasava. Al-Daheri 2nd. Max Popov is 3rd. And the rookie winner. Fantastic race up at the front by Alexander Abkasava. All the pressure was on him. He never let it slip. He never let it buckle. That was such a difficult race to command. And yet, no matter what Rashid Al-Daheri threw at him, he was ready for it every step of the way. Popov second, Nakamura Berta, Kato, Powell, Ninovic, Ho, Rem, Costa, Sawurthan and Andrea Kostic. A very tight race all the way through, and the first race of the Formula Regional F326 era does not have a single safety car. What a great start to the era. And it's great to see MP Motorsport, Race GP and Trident get their drivers to the podium. A fabulous, fabulous start to the season. And for Alexander Abkasava in particular, that's the perfect start to the season. What a great race. All of the pressure, all of the difficulties that Al-Daheri was giving to him all the way, but he would not budge. Alexander Abkasava, the worthy, rightful winner. Rashid Al-Daheri second, Max Popov in third place from Kia Nakamura Berta and Taito Kato. Alex Powell in P6 ahead of Alex Ninovic, Christian Ho, Maxim Rem and Miguel Costa. Then it's Reza Sawurthan in front of Andrea Kostic, Artem Sevrukin, Jan Pirovsky, Salim Hanna and Francisco Macedo from Numachi, Michael Belov, Kai Darianani and Andrea Dupé. Next up, Gerard Shi in front of Kabir Anurag, Dion Gauda all the way down to 23rd in the end from Yuki Sano, Giovanni Mascio, Gilles Rossel, Enea Frey, August Raber, Matteo Giaccardi, Felix Vu, and rather sadly, Sebastian Weldon crawled back into the pits on the last lap, just ahead of Alci Feldman Nito over the line. Race start, no further investigation necessary, so it looks to me as though there's no penalties to hand out from the start, which is great news. And that means that barring any other investigations, the result should stand. So back into pit lane comes the man from Kazakhstan. The MP Motorsport team returns to the Middle East for the first time since 2024. They missed the racing last year. We missed them big time. But what a return. Rashid Al-Daheri can be very happy with second place in his first Formula Regional race of 2026 on his home circuit. He could have taken the risk. He didn't. And that's valuable points in the championship. He can be satisfied with the way his season has started. Third place and the rookie win for Max Popov. He'll be happy with that. That'll be 2 trophies for him to take away. But the victory, well, that goes the way of the boys in orange and black. Sander Dorsman's Flying Dutchman return to the Middle East victorious. And they are delighted as here comes Alexander Abkasava. The number 15 is triumphant in the first ever Formula Regional race for the Tartus F326. Max Popov is delighted with the rookie win in third position. And the team from MP Motorsport can start the ball rolling. They were absent in 2025. They're back in 2026, and they're already winners. Alex Abkasava starts the MP Motorsport Middle East Renaissance in style. Well done to the team. A fantastic start and a brilliant run from Alexander Abkasava and MP Motorsport. That's what it means to the family. What a start. MP Motorsport are back in the Middle East. And it's like they never left. Alex Abkasava will be celebrating long into the night. And for at least the next few hours, he will be the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy points leader. We've got race 2 tomorrow. A lot of things can happen with it being a reverse grid race. But for now, the man on top is Alex Abkasava, and rightly so. Popov! A great start to the year for the Trident winner, who'll take away 2 trophies from this race. 3rd place and the leading rookie. In 2nd place for the United Arab Emirates, Rashid Al Dahedi. P2 in the first race of the season on home soil. The perfect start, very nearly. But the man who takes the top spot on the podium for Kazakhstan, Alexander Abkasava! It's a winning return for MP Motorsport, absent in 2025, but back to the basics in 2026. Now it is my honor to invite the Chorus Group President, Mr. Gianfranco De Bellis, who will come forward and present the trophies to our 3 men on the podium. Starting with the 3rd position trophy, and it goes to our man for Trident Motorsport and for Italy. In 3rd position, Max Popov! And to our man in 2nd position for the United Arab Emirates and Race GP, Rashid Al Dahedi! And to our race winner for Kazakhstan and MP Motorsport, Alexander Abkasava! And last but by no means least, the 2nd trophy for our rookie winner for Italy and Trident Motorsport, Max Popov! A hearty congratulations then to our 3 drivers on the podium as they pose for the photographs on the far side. And of course, they will get the chance to soak up the moment, the first ever Formula Regional race of the new era with the Tartus F326. A resounding success, a very close quarters race indeed. And now that the photographs are done, the drivers can celebrate in the time-honored fashion. If I was Gianfranco De Bellis, I would make a quick exit very soon indeed. The final photograph. And of course, the moment that the drivers have all been waiting for as they celebrate in true motorsport style. Let's let our drivers at Formula Regional Middle East Trophy get busy with the fizzy! A fabulous end to the first race of the 2026 Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. And there's more where that came from tomorrow as we go back into the action in race 2 and race 3. From all of us here at Top Speed and of course at Formula Regional Middle East here at Yas Marina Circuit, from me, Jake Sanson, and everyone watching, thank you very much indeed for being with us. We'll do it all again for race 2 and race 3. Same place, same race. Bye for now.